community to reach out against these external forces, basically. So I'm super excited to get to know everyone here, to really understand what those innovative ideas, and we saw some of those key words, in that opening session in terms of, innovation, education. I mean, we're like the best and brightest from the Magento community, and we should really figure out how we continue this momentum going forward. So super excited about that. Now, what are we doing at Adobe Commerce? I want to spend a few minutes on that. We lead with sort of our experience-led approach, experience-led with data, and with the technology tools. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But I always want to show sort of the breadth of what Adobe encompasses and where Adobe Commerce fits in, because even though for folks like myself, Adobe Commerce is the center of our universe, Adobe breaks apart their businesses into 3 areas: Document Cloud, Creative Cloud, and Experience Cloud. And as you can see, Adobe Commerce, while integral, is one of 11 pieces that fit into sort of that Experience Cloud. And a lot of you are familiar with how that works, but it's always interesting to put that in perspective. And sometimes when we're broken apart into 4 pillars, and Adobe Commerce fits into the content and e-commerce pillar. Now, speaking about, sort of the 3 areas, experience-led, we're focused on delivering fast, personalized experiences. And I'll give you a couple of examples of how we're trying to bring that to market. Data powered is very important, obviously, meaning you can capture, share, activate a lot of that commerce data in real time across the different Adobe products. And finally, we have to be tech enabled and trying to find ways to create really composable methods to bring all of that stuff together. So one of the ways that we're bringing personalization to life, and some of you may have heard about this, is edge delivery services. With edge delivery, you can create content via the Adobe Experience Manager. You can drop those into you can embed those into these drop-in components. These are basically small areas of functionality like product details page, checkout, stuff like that. And ultimately, where the merchant and the brand is getting benefit is site speed, SEO capabilities, and also integrating some Gen AI. And I'll show you a little snippet of that a little bit later as well. We're also bringing to market what we like to call the kind of content supply chain, right? And that's basically bringing assets from various locations, keeping them in sync, altering them, and delivering them in the right manner. And so, that's something that we're focused on going forward as well. And this is a favorite of mine. This is how Gen AI comes into play, right? We take this product, an Experience Manager. It's a backpack. Let's say, hey, why not add a water bottle to this? So through generative fill, we say water bottle, find a place for it. You can quickly add to this product image, and it's now added to the catalog. And once it's saved, it automatically syncs with Adobe Commerce, and it's available for use. So all of this can happen now pretty instantaneously, and it's super fast. And really reduces a lot of the friction and inefficiency that exists for folks. So you can see how large companies, multiple products, large global brands, how that can really add to their productivity and efficiency. The other thing is about data, right? And how do you take data from the different silos and continue to distribute them in the right ways? And that's what we're doing here. By unlocking some of that and really taking commerce data, feeding it through CDP, and then distributing it back out, whether it's back to commerce or some of the other Adobe products. And a lot of people are enjoying the ability to bring all of that stuff together as well. And last but not least, from the technology side, we are using our framework of App Builder to try to bring efficiency and having people build functionality for Adobe Commerce going forward. And we're introducing starter kits. We've got the back office starter kit. I was just talking to the development team recently. We've got a payment starter kit, shipping starter kit. So we've got all of these things to help developers like yourselves bring some of these solutions out to life really quickly. And again, a lot of information here, but feel free to talk to anyone in the Adobe booth or myself. If any of these sort of pique your interest or you have curiosity about them. And ultimately, these are the results that we strive to deliver for customers. As we pulled all of this stuff together, we're super happy to continue to work with some of the larger brands in doing this. But let's leave all of that stuff aside. Let's talk a little bit about the open source community and what Magento open source is actually delivering in real life. And this is my favorite part of everything that I say out here, because we get to really highlight real businesses. And if you've ever thought about parking supplies and parking products, probably not. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know it was in the commerce category, but apparently it is, and it's one that generates millions of dollars for parking zone. They were founded in 1987. They've been a Magento customer since 2011. And when I talked to Darlene over there, who heads up marketing and operations, she's sort of like a ninja of everything, actually. And she was super excited to continue to work with Magento. She says it's super flexible. She went and learned Magento in like a 1-week course and has been their admin ever since. And also, I asked her, like, what is the most unique thing about Magento and how it works for you? And she said, the functionality, and not necessarily the core, but this is anything that I can think of, there's an extension for that, right? And it's thanks to everyone in this room, worldwide, thinking about all of those use cases and delivering that value to customers is how companies like Parking Zone can do what they do best and deliver. I mean, in fact, they've actually created patented products through their Gorilla Post brand. And it was, I could geek out of this after the session, but I'll tell you about some of the stuff they're doing. And I was like, wow, innovation in parking products, but it happens. And we're powering it through the Magento community. So thank you to everyone for that. Aside from the maintenance and support of the open source, the Magento open source code, Adobe continues to support the community in different ways. We've got the marketplace, right, which has over 3,000 of all of your extensions. We continue to try to maintain a high level of quality for those particular extensions, as anyone who's gone through that process. Updates, we're trying to process within 30 hours, so trying to get the latest and greatest up there as quick as possible. We're bringing business critical features and functionality like payments, and in addition, our outreach, led by Pearl's team in terms of newsletters, events like this to continue to interact and talk to the community, and also participation in the Magento Association, which obviously Matthias is going to talk about, right? And I get the pleasure of joining those meetings and really, understanding what the Magento Association is doing and how we can continue to help, that cause as well. All right, and in terms of payments, I got to do my payments plug. Payment services right now is now bundled in core, so available for open source and for Adobe Commerce. And we've got a bunch of people, including Harrison and Elliot, who are here from the payments team. Talk to them if that's interesting, but we're super excited about having this opportunity and turning it into a turnkey solution, and then looking at some other turnkey opportunities as well. And in addition, we've got the Adobe Commerce we've got the assured, assured access program for Adobe Commerce Marketplace. And what that is that's basically taking a small group of apps and a refined group and really a curated group and making sure that they're all going to work with open source Adobe Commerce, anything that the merchant uses. And it really, helps to reduce TCO and just, peace of mind with some of those, upgrade and compatibility challenges. All right, and then this is my annual plea or semi-annual, twice a year I do this, where I say, like, look, we can do and we will try to continue to support, but we need your help as well. All technical developers, any community, if you think about being a community maintainer, now's the time, right? And we, from the Magento Association side, we're kicking off, again, a renewed recruitment. Maybe we should use I should listen to the AI talk and see how we can recruit using AI. But we want everyone to contribute, help us prioritize, help us figure out which are the things that we want to embed into the Magento code base. I know it's a little bit of a process, but we have to start somewhere, and with your support, I think we can make progress. Carl's team sends out on a monthly basis how many sort of pull requests we have, how many merges that we're doing into the code base, and it's been pretty impressive, and I've seen these numbers continue to go up. We're dedicating Adobe folks to do some of that stuff. It would be great to get the community involved so that we're picking the stuff that's most important to everyone. And I'm going to sort of close off with this slide here. And I know some of you have seen this, but as a true product guy, I did iterate on this a little bit, so it's a little bit different now. So I've adjusted it with some feedback. And I'm looking forward to continue to talk about this. But look, we may still disagree on some of the specific words on this slide, but I want to make sure that I land the sentiment, right? I think the main thing is Adobe Commerce and Magento open source, we have to coexist. I believe each solution is geared for a specific customer. I don't care how you define it, whether it's by revenue, employees, industry size, size of your catalog, brand, anything like that. But what we have in common is we're all out here together to try to uplift commerce. We're all here to help brands realize their dreams, whether it's getting to the next $50 million in revenue, or whether it's helping companies like Parking Zone create economic stability for their families and employees, right? And I think now more than ever, there is definitely threat from competition. There's some misinformation. I believe it's creating pressure on the future of Magento open source and Adobe Commerce. So the one thing that I want to leave everyone here with today is, learn, network, have fun. But at the same time, let's find ways to strategize, bring our passion and energy. As Ravi mentioned, this is a worldwide audience. We have a lot of diverse thoughts and opinions here. Let's bring it all together for the benefit of our community. And in the future, I think we'll be able to power prosperity for the brands worldwide today and well into the future altogether. So again, thank you for the time. As always, I appreciate it. I'd love to meet every one of you, so please stop by, say hi throughout the day, and most importantly, have a wonderful, wonderful show. Thank you. Yeah, I get to pass the baton off to Matthias. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Real channel character.
So, hi everyone. We got quite a few things to get through, so a lot of things to do. Last year I was here and sparked that flame, and everybody felt kind of happy. Like Magento, I iterated on that, which is that we're just too silent about it. right? There's a lot of Magento stores out there, a lot of happy merchants, and we should talk about that and be proud of it. One little thing that I've already talked about earlier this year in the other conferences is we have to realize what are the elements of an open source project, right? So we have the code stuff, that's what we did in the past, but there's a lot of things next to it, like operations and index, the marketing and all those kind of things. And we need to realize that that entire backpack over there, that's on us, right? We, the community, need to take over that part. And that's where we get all the freedom in the world to do whatever, on my French, whatever we want to do, right? But we can work with that. However, we also have to work with that. So there's basically two ways how we can do that. We can either have everybody here contribute, right? So we can click, there we go. Right? We can provide code, much like Parole and Ducash are asking us to do, and we should. We can help in terms of reviewing the PRs. We can do all the content on MagentoOpenSource.com. I don't know if people are aware. I think last year we didn't have that site. I announced it here, but we finished it. So we have our own marketing website for that, where we all can contribute, create marketing content around it. We can post stuff on social media, which should be like the easiest thing to do. And then just hit me up and go like, hey, how about reposting this? Be really good and helpful. The other way we can do is, the whole sharing stuff. Whenever you see something positive about Magento, just share it. And that should be so easy, it shouldn't be a big task for anyone to do. If you don't feel like contributing, you can fund this. And if you fund Magento Association's operation, then we can hire maintainers, do all the coding, we can hire a marketing staff that does all the reposting and all the things. So we also do administrative things, we can take care of legal things and everything that's super not fun in an open source project. And yeah, that's basically pretty much the two options that we have. However, there's a lot of talk about this because people try to get like the old status quo back. I think that what we're facing right now is the most fundamental change to Magento, like ever. And I think we should embrace it. Comes with a lot of work, also comes with a lot of fun, and a lot of leeway, and a lot of freedom, and we can do whatever we want. So I would really be happy if people would join us in the journey, because we can make Magento what we want it to be, pretty much. All right, going on, because I try to keep the schedule in place, a lot of stuff to cover. We did a couple changes to the Magento Association at the end of the year and going into the year so far. So we have created like a renewed vision. We have a lot of new people on the board that are like super motivated to do stuff. We want to focus like innovating, driving things forward, more collaboration, just simply more output, because we got a little bit of flack for that, and rightly so. And it was me mostly, and now we have Jörg on board, so we have like 2 employees now. Magento Association, 2 people operate. Yeah, so we want to work closer with the community. That's why I need more people on the board to actually help with these things. And we came up with a nice slide. So we went from those 3 pillars that we used to have up to 6, because it just filled the X logo kind of thing. You don't even have to read through all of these, because I got slides for each and every one of them. So let's go through that. I wanted to briefly touch on some leadership changes that we have. So Josh, who led us through all the hard times of the Magento Association, was finally able to retire. So big round of applause for Josh. We had Slava, who basically moved from vice president up to president. We have Vatsal in the audience somewhere, from India, who moved up to vice president. and we have Danica Carter, who luckily remains the treasurer. It's one of the super not fun parts of running an open source project. So those are the things that we have. Lastly, we have 3 new board members. We have Vijay Gulani from India. We have Laura Folco, who's also here somewhere. I assume there she is, on the board. And we have Molly from the UK/Philippines. It's a weird combination, but fun guy. Very intense. We spend like 12 hours per week on the phone. Because he just runs ideas. He's like a little tornado, but it's fun to be around him. In terms of what we're doing with the board, because when I came into the Magento Association, I had to like figure stuff out. We will increase the election cycle to having an election once per year. We have streamlined the process so that we can work through that pretty quickly. We will typically rotate in 3 members over the course of an election, so that we get more fresh input into the entire group to get that going. Of course, we're improving the transparency stuff, so more communication. I'm extremely grateful for Laura taking that hat to help me with that, because I'm just too busy with policy. So, important, why do these changes matter? What does it do to the community? We think it will strengthen the overall ecosystem and the general open source as a whole. We can also see that this whole SaaS fight is kind of dipping down a little bit. People coming back from the grass is greener on the other side situation. We think that we should collaborate more, getting like this is basically what we're trying to teach time. I think the role that's kind of what we're talking about, more collaboration. So spoilers. We want to provide more educational resources. Mark doesn't know that yet, but we will have to talk about that later today. And we have people who want to work on more documentation, etc. And I'm a little bit getting ahead of myself. Like I said, more transparency, more engagement. So in order to get through those new focus areas, and I'm just going to skip through them rather quickly, biggest change that we have is that now every strategic initiative has a board member assigned to them. Well, they picked it, but they are fully accountable and responsible for getting those things going, which is actually pretty good, because at least a lot of work off my shoulders personally. And we want to make sure that we have like clear rules in place, clear deliverables, so that we can get more output done over the course of time. So, first pillar, community engagement. The idea here is that we're bringing back the procedure check and podcast, which was an enterprise in itself, because I had to get like access credentials, which we were not provided with by the old management companies, so that was an adventure in itself to getting those back. We will work on open source contribution recognition, which is something like Magento Masters, but not quite that. But we want to be able to showcase the people who really helped the community, stood out, did great things. We will bring Swag finally, because we figured out how to do this. Also, it's the legal stuff that we need to take care of, what do we do with the trademark, yada, yada, yada. And we will have more communication. Again, thanks Laura for that. Laura's name will come up a lot in this talk. So, next big thing we have is the Magento Open Source Code initiatives, where Laura's goal for her term is to get at least one big feature merged into Magento Open Source. Because a lot of people were saying, well, there's no new functionality coming into the platform. That's like a set goal that we're working towards, to also show that this actually works. So, and basically some of the naysayers then we have improved documentation, both for merchants and for developers. That's one big goal, both of Danica Carter and Vijay Gulani. They will pick up the topic. Big one in my eyes. And then the community council, that's basically what Ken already talked about, where we now go into full screen. We already have a couple of volunteers who are currently preparing contracts with their employees, so that we get people who get like a part-time position on that community council, which is really good because then we can drive things forward. Yep. Then, of course, marketing and collaboration. We will be bringing back a showcase site because I think this is really missing from Magento. There's no like central list of sites that people build with Magento. And I also think that we shouldn't curate those too much, because if we only show like super top level projects, we will alienate the smaller merchants that are also very, very well advised if they run their business on Magento. So small cases, and the idea is that you need to provide very little information in order to make a showcase, so we don't expect like a 50-page PDF or something. The whole idea is that we can get a lot of showcases of apps. And this is almost done. So what we're currently using is the form to hand it in, but everything else is done on the technology side. Then we're having the expert listing, same thing. With we have the Adobe Partner Program, right? But we don't have something similar for Magento agencies and tech partners, etc. We need to have like an official resource where people can show, hey, we are affiliated with Magento in official way. So that's what we're working on. What else we have? Yeah, I mean the pure marketing stuff where we need to focus on Magento strengths. That's just marketing tells us we can skip those things. And of course, we want to scale up events like these. I mean, marketing doesn't really need help scaling this event. It doesn't very well on its own. But with a lot of events coming up, there will be new ones in France in, I think, less than a month-ish, is it? Right? Yesterday, somebody was like, hey, how about doing something in Ireland? So that's people get like new ideas, getting more events going, so that would be really, really good. And in terms of the event calendar, this is my personal favorite because every Monday morning I need to check 5 sources of different people listing Magento events, and I just want to centralize this so organizers can put their events in, and this will then show Meet Magento events, but as well stuff like a meetup that can be locally, so people can get connected with the community. All right, moving on. In terms of growth and governance, we of course want to increase the membership base, or if you're not a member, hit me up. Then we have a dedicated person just to run fundraising stuff so that we can get more stuff going. Because I think Magento open source should be present at local e-commerce events, right? So Ecom Export in the UK, for example, we're currently planning to have a booth over there to show like, hey, this is still here, right? What else do we have? Well, the board elections and stuff, that's like annoying stuff we have to do, like legal obligations, right? So, what we have next is, and this is also, again, like I mentioned, Laura volunteered to do that, I still don't know why. You know, keep the updates on the milestones, what's going on, informing experts of what the community we're doing. Like I said earlier, more transparency, more information, because like I really didn't do the best job at that. I have to admit that I was just busy with things. The result that we tried to achieve is having like a strong Magento ecosystem, get more stuff rolling for everybody. So again, you will call for participation. How can you participate? Of course, attend any event that we have that you have access to. Come around to the meetups, go to meet Magentos. There's a lot of them around the globe. I mean, this is fun because I'm coming from like really cold Germany, which makes no shit, but this is like way better right now. However, don't post that I have a good time here because my wife will freak out. And of course, join all the discussions with people around here. Bring the good vibe. Post on socials. What else do we have? These slides are going to show you for that. Yeah, of course, contribute expertise. We have a lot of really great tech speakers here. Share the knowledge, do more things, mentor people, and volunteer for any working task that we have within the Magento Association. That would be awesome. All right. Finally, I want to say thank you for the people who already volunteered a lot of their time for systems that we have. So big thank you to Sugar HQ, Adobe, obviously, Platform SH, Akuva, which need to write a logo like this, Mayor, working on the hub with us, Board Techies, Tactic from India, Hannes Rooted from Germany. We have Uber up there. We have all commerce. I don't know if anyone from all commerce is here. We have the headworks, of course, so thanks for everything you do for us. We also want to say thank you to Magento for the support and the help. Terrific minds, Sensei and Fuman right now. So I don't know, well, I've almost driven the timeline, but thank you everybody for your time. Everything we do together shapes what we're doing here right now, how we can move Magento open source forward. Just stay engaged, hit us up, provide us feedback, and let's get in touch with us if you have any questions about what we're trying to do. Thank you for your time.